Hello, on the box. Can I help you?
Hello. Can I speak to Max Foster, please?
I'm afraid he's in a meeting all day. I'm his PA, Gabi. Can I take a message?
Yes, probably. My name's Fiona Robbins, and I'm, going to be in your new TV drama, Undercover.
Oh, yes, of course. You're going to be Kat, aren't you?
That's right, yes. Anyway, I'm afraid I can't come to the meeting on Monday.
Oh, dear. Why's that?
Well, I'm in hospital. I was in a car accident and I've broken my leg.
Oh, how terrible.
Yes. I won't be able to walk on it for a month, apparently.
Oh, poor you. That must be awful.
Well, it's quite painful, yes. But I've already had one operation. It went quite well, I think.
Well, that's good news, at least.
Yes, I suppose so. And I'm having another operation on Friday. I hope it's going to be okay.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Thanks. Anyway, about Undercover. I still want to be in the programme, of course, but I don't know what to do.
Well, they're going to start filming soon, I think.
Yes, I know.
Well, you must talk to Max, and the sooner the better, really. Can he call you tomorrow?
Yes, please. The number for the hospital is 0754 434 78. I'm in Ward 2.
Yes, of course.
Thanks. Look, I'm really sorry about this.
Don't worry. I'll ask Max to call you back in the morning.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye. Hello, Max.
Morning, Gabi. Any messages?
Yes, quite a few, actually. We've got a problem.
Oh? What's that?
Fiona Robbins called. You know, the actress who's going to be Kat in Undercover.
Uh-huh.
Well, she's broken her leg.
You're joking.
No, really, it's true. She said she'd been in a car accident.
Oh, no. That's the last thing we need.
Yes, I know. But she's being looked after very well, I think. She told me that she'd already had one operation.
Well, that's good news, I guess.
Yes, I think so. And she said that she was having another operation on Friday.
Did she say when she'd be able to work again?
Not exactly, but she said she wouldn't be able to walk on it for a month.
Oh, I don't believe it. Does she realise how serious this is?
Yes, I think so. She sounded quite worried about it.
Not her leg. The fact that we're going to lose our lead actress.
Anyway, she told me she couldn't come to the meeting on Monday.
No, obviously not. Oh, what was she thinking of?
Well, I don't think she planned to be in a car crash.
No, I suppose not. What else did she say?
She said she still wanted to be in the programme.
What, in a wheelchair? She's supposed to be an undercover cop.
Yes, I know.
So what did you tell her?
I told her they were going to start filming soon.
Good. So she knows that we have to find someone else?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
I told her that she had to talk to you. Here's the number of the hospital. She's in Ward 2.
Right. While I'm doing this, find someone else to play Kat. I want 3 people here for auditions first thing tomorrow morning.
Sure, will do. But before you go, you had some other messages too.
Who from?
Well, Mr. Hall said he had to talk. Sure, will do. But before you go, you had some other messages too.
Who from?
Well, Mr. Hall said he had to talk to you.
OK, I'll call him later. What's his number?
He only gave me his mobile number. Here it is.
What does he want, anyway? I talked to him last week.
Apparently, his wife wants a script back.
Well, send it to her. It was rubbish anyway. What's next?
Carl told me he was going to be in New York next week.
Why is he going to New York? He should be going to LA. Oh, that man's an idiot. I'll call him later.
And Sid said that he hadn't understood your email. Maybe you should call him back.
OK, I will. Is that it?
Not quite. who's next? Oh, yes. Linda Wise said she couldn't come to Monday's meeting.
Did she say why?
Yes, it's her back again.
Typical. I told her to see a doctor. She just won't listen.
And Mrs. Lee told me the designs would be ready on Monday.
Well, that's some good news at least.
Yes, I told her you'd be pleased. What's next? Ted Black said that he was having a party on Saturday.
Who on earth is Ted Black?
You know, the film producer. I told him you'd be there.
Oh no, you know I can't stand him.
He said he wanted to talk to you about a new project.
Fine. Is that all?
And there's one more.
Oh, what's that?
Your ex-wife told me she'd sold the house.
What? Get her on the phone, now!
Hi, Mum.
Oh, hello, Eddie.
Brought the car back. Thanks.
Did you put any petrol in it?
Sorry, I couldn't. I'm a bit short of money. In fact, I'm £50 overdrawn, and the rent's due on Friday. You couldn't, lend me a couple of hundred, could you?
It's about time you found yourself a proper job.
Acting is a proper job.
So you keep telling me.
Oh, please, Mum. I'll pay you back, I promise.
Oh, all right. £200, you say?
Yeah, that'd be great, thanks.
I'll have to see how much I've got in my savings account first. But this is the last time, Eddie.
Yeah. You always say that, Mum.
No, I'm serious. It's about time you grew up. If you had a job, you wouldn't have to borrow money from me all the time.
I wish I could spare the time, Mum, but, you know, it's all these auditions I have to go to.
Yes. Well, I hope you get something soon. But still, I wish you weren't chasing these impossible dreams.
What impossible dreams?
Oh, you know, dreams about becoming a film star.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm hoping to hear from my agent about an audition I did for a TV advert. She hasn't phoned, has she? I gave her this number.
No, sorry, she hasn't.
I hope she calls.
What's wrong with your mobile, anyway?
I lost it. That's why I gave her this number.
Oh, I wish you'd take more care of your things. How many is that you've lost?
Only 2, and the first one was stolen.
Yes, so you said. Anyway, what's the ad for?
Norland Bank. I'd be a customer who's asking for a loan.
Well, if you get it, you won't have any problem learning your lines then, will you? Oh, but I won't keep going on about it. Anyway, it's time to go. I have to be at work by 6. Oh, I wish I knew where your father was. He needs the car later tonight, so he was going to give me a lift to work. Can you drive me and then bring the car back for Dad?
It's time you got your own car, Mum.
Yeah. Well, when you pay me back all the money you owe me, I'll be able to afford one, won't I?
Mike Richards.
Hello, Mike. It's Rob.
Hi, Rob. Long time no hear. How are you doing?
Not bad, thanks. How's life in the world of advertising?
Oh, fine, I guess. I've got a lot of work on at the moment, but between me and you, I've been finding it hard to get down to things recently.
Maybe it's time for a change.
Yeah, maybe. So, is this just a social call, or...
Well, not exactly. I'd like to, talk to you about a new project I'm working on.
Really? What kind of project?
I'd prefer to tell you face to face, if that's okay.
Sure. When?
The sooner the better, if possible. What about tomorrow? Are you free for lunch?
Let me check. Sorry, I'm having lunch with my boss tomorrow. I can't really get out of that.
No, of course not. Okay. How about sometime in the morning? I could get to your office by 10:30.
Sorry, I'll be interviewing people for our graduate trainee programme then. Actually, that'll probably take up the whole morning.
Okay, what about the afternoon? Say 4 o'clock?
No, sorry. I'll be in the middle of a meeting at 4. Then I've got 2 more meetings I have to go to. Maybe I could meet you in the evening?
Sorry, I can't do the evening. I've got to stay at home and look after the kids.
Oh, okay.
Well, how about Wednesday morning, say 11?
No, I'll be on my way to Southampton at 11. I'm giving a talk at a conference there.
Well, Southampton's not far from me. Maybe I can meet you there.
OK, that might work.
What time would suit you?
Well, I'll have arrived by lunchtime. But then I have to have lunch with some clients.
You are on the go all the time, aren't you? So, what time's your talk?
It starts at 2, so I'll have finished giving the talk by 3:30, but then I'll have to chat to lots of people. You know what conferences are like.
Well, how about I buy you dinner?
Yeah, fine. I'm staying in a hotel that night anyway, and going straight to work the next morning.
Great. Shall we say 7:30?
Yes, fine.
Let me know where you're staying and I'll pick you up.
Will do. Rob,
Yeah?
what's this all about?
Tell you on Wednesday. See you then. Bye.
Oh, that was a hard day. It's good to be home.
So how did the conference go? Did they like your talk?
Yes, I think so. Nobody walked out, anyway.
Well, that's good. So, you said that you had something interesting to tell me.
Yeah. I had dinner with Rob last night.
Yes, you said. How's he doing?
Well, he's working freelance now. Magazine articles, that sort of thing. But Rob told me that he was planning to set up his own business.
Really? What kind of business?
He wants to open a coffee shop. You know, with sofas, newspapers, good music, healthy food, Wi-Fi, somewhere you can really relax.
Whereabouts?
In Brighton.
Oh, right.
Yeah. He said he'd been looking for a good location since August. And now he reckons he's found the perfect place.
And where's that?
Between the seafront and the lanes. You know, that nice old shopping area.
That's a good spot. Lots of tourists and students.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And here's the thing. Rob asked me if I wanted to go into business with him.
But you've got a job.
Yeah, but he'd do all the work, run the coffee shop and all that.
So why does he need you?
He's looking for someone to invest in the business. He said he could raise half of the money, and he wanted to know whether I could come up with the other half.
How much exactly?
25,000.
What? Where on earth are we going to get that kind of money?
Well, we've got 10,000 saved up, and we could, take out a bank loan for the rest.
I'm not sure, darling. It's a huge risk.
Well, I asked how long it would take for the business to make a profit. He thought about 6 months, maybe less.
Does Rob know anything about setting up a business?
I think so. Look, he's given me a copy of his business plan. We can go through it together this evening, if you like.
OK.
Anyway, he asked me to meet him in Brighton on Saturday.
Mike, I'm really not sure about this.
I'm just going to talk to him, that's all.
Have you discussed this with anyone at work?
No, Rob told me not to talk to anyone else about it. Except you, of course.
OK. But promise that you'll discuss this with me before you do anything.
Of course I will. So, how was your day?
Behaviour at work.
How do you get a good job when you leave university? Well, here's an idea. Start thinking about it now. Change the way that you think about university. Think of university as a kind of job, your first real job. So, university should be a job. But what is a job? What do employers want? I'm going to tell you 8 important things. I'm talking about work, but all of these things are important at university too. Number 1, you must go to work every day. Of course, if you're sick, you can't go. Phone and tell your manager and stay at home. But you must phone. Secondly, you must be punctual. That means that you must always be on time. You must be on time for work, for meetings. And when you come back to your desk after lunch, if you're not punctual, people are waiting for you and they get angry. Why? Because you waste their time. In addition, the company loses money. Number 3, you must respect your manager, the person who gives you your tasks, your pieces of work. You must also respect your colleagues, that is, the people who you work with. Finally, you must also respect the customers, in other words, the people who buy things from the company. Fourthly, you must do all the tasks on time. But fifthly, you must not rush work in order to finish on time. You are responsible for the quality of your work, whether it is good or bad. Sixthly, now this one is a really big problem nowadays. You must only use the company's equipment, that is, the phones and computers, for work and not for personal things. Many companies have software to check your computer usage. If you misuse your computer, your manager will probably find out. 7, you must keep your workspace tidy. That means your desk and any shelves or cupboards that you use. And finally, you must also organise your work files sensibly, in alphabetical order or chronologically. That means by date. We have heard about a lot of rules at work. In the next part of my talk, I will give reasons for these rules.
So, Francesca, we've been working for an hour or so now. Do you want to take a break?
Yes, please. That would be good.
Okay. Do you want to talk about what you've done so far?
Yeah. Well, I've already filled the sugar bowls.
Oh, great. So you've done all of them?
Yes.
Fantastic. What about the knives and forks? Have you put those out yet?
Yeah. I've put them out.
Okay. They're all on the tables?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. And have you also done the napkins?
Yes, I've folded them, but I haven't put them out yet.
Okay, I'll double check as well. It took me ages to learn to fold them correctly.
If it's no good, tell me and I can do it again.
Yep, no problem. How about the water jugs?
Yeah, I filled the water jugs and put them in the refrigerator.
Thanks.
But I haven't put the menus on the tables yet. Do I have to put them out?
Yeah, we should do that before we open.
I'll do that later. I've put flowers on every table, but I still need to put the salt and pepper out.
Okay. We also need to put glasses on all the tables. I noticed that there aren't glasses on the tables.
Oh, sorry, I just forgot.
That's okay. We've still got an hour or so, so you can do that now. I'll check them after you've done it. And maybe right before we open, we should light the candles. But we don't want to do that yet. Maybe just 15 minutes before service time.
Sure, I'll do it later.
Okay. Okay, do you have any other questions?
Do you want me to cut the bread as well?
Oh, yes, please. See you later then.
Luca.
Well, I've always loved sport and swimming. As a kid, I used to spend all my free time in the summer on the beach with my friends. We would swim or surf or just play about in the water. And there was always a lifeguard there on the beach. And I used to think, oh, what a brilliant job. So when I left school, I trained to be a lifeguard. I really enjoyed the job for a few years. In the summer, I would work on the beach, and then in the winter, I would go skiing. It was my dream job. I loved it. But after a while, I started to get bored. I was just on this boiling beach all day, watching all the beautiful people, but I couldn't really enjoy myself, you know. I just had to stand there and watch. So I knew it was time to find something else to do.
Nicola.
I used to be an ice cream taster, and for a while it was definitely my dream job. I mean, can you imagine anything better than sitting at work, eating delicious ice cream all day? I was in heaven. I was working for a big company with a team of food scientists, and our job was to come up with new ideas for ice cream flavours. So I suppose that was the problem, because a lot of the time we had to try new flavours like curry and lime ice cream or cheese and sausage, and we would have to taste it. And usually it was terrible. Really disgusting. Now, most people would just say, yuck, I'm not eating that again. But unfortunately, when it's your job, you have to keep tasting it to see if they have made it any better. Sometimes we would taste 30 different ice cream flavours before lunch. So it wasn't all good.
Amy.
I was a professional shopper for a while. It was good fun at first. The lady I worked for was a television presenter and she needed outfits to wear on television, but she didn't have time to go shopping. So I would go out and buy clothes for her, and then she would try them on at home and I would take back anything that was no good. It was a fascinating insight into how some people live. But as time went on, I realised she was impossible to please. One time, I had to buy her an outfit for a special event she was going to, and I bought her a few different things to try on. But she didn't like any of them, and she was really furious that I hadn't found her something different. It wasn't really my fault, but I lost my job soon after that.
Hi, Wendy. How's it going?
Oh, hi, Phil. It's you. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Not too bad.
You could try to sound more convincing when you say that.
It's just, I had my interview this morning.
Of course. How did it go?
Awful. I want to be a doctor so much, but after that interview...
Oh, come on. I'm sure it wasn't that bad. You've got nothing to worry about with your marks.
Thanks, I know. But I'm pretty sure they want more than just good grades. I mean, this is medical school. I read somewhere that for every place at university, at least 10 people apply. There are so many people who are expecting me to get into medical school. What do I do if I don't? I'd be so embarrassed.
But you didn't just get good marks. You got the highest marks at school in every subject. If only I had grades like yours. And I'm sure you did your best. You always do. So, anyway, what happened at your interview that you seem to think went so badly?
Well, I was so nervous, I could hardly speak. I must have sounded like a mouse.
But they're expecting people to be nervous. Who was interviewing you?
Oh, it was 2 senior doctors from the hospital, plus a second-year medical student who's studying on the course now.
Well, OK, but remember, they've all done the same interview once. They must have understood how you were feeling.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm still convinced that I did something wrong. Doctors have to be really confident, don't they? I mean, they have to tell nurses what to do, and they also have to make decisions that could mean life or death.
Well, I suppose.
And you can't be nervous when you're talking to a patient. I mean, can you imagine? If you were my patient and you said, "Oh, Dr. Wendy, do you think I'll be all right?" And then you'd hear me saying, I think you'll be fine.
You don't sound like that.
But...
Listen to me, Wendy. You don't sound like that. I promise you. And anyway, what's the worst thing that can happen? OK, let's just imagine that you don't get a place at medical school this year.
Oh.
Just imagining. Anyway, what would you do? OK, well, I know what I'd do. I'd apply again next year, and I'd take advantage of the time off to do something really interesting. In fact, I'd do something that I knew would help me in my interview next year.
Like what?
Well, you say you need more confidence, right? Well, do some research. Find out what you could do that will help you become more confident. I don't know, like you could try acting. Yes, what about that? You could get a job during the day, and then in the evenings you could take part in a play or something. And don't forget, that would only be if you didn't get a place on the medical course, which you will, of course.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Thanks, that's really helpful. Actually, that reminds me. Did you say there was something you wanted to ask me about?
Ah, yes. I've got an interview at the business school at the university next week, and I wanted to ask you to give me some advice. I mean, I'm not sure what kind of questions they're going to ask me.
Right, OK, well, let's have a think.
Hi, how are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
So, tell me a bit about yourself.
Where should I start?
Let's keep it work-related.
All right. I've always loved working with computers and doing coding. I get an idea for a new app and I sit and create it. I'd love to show you some of my work.
So, you like to work alone?
Not really, and this is what I wanted to say, that I think I'm not a typical IT person in that I like being with people, working as part of a team. It's important to me to have personal contact, even if the work itself is sort of solo work.
So, why are you here today?
How do you mean?
Why do you want this job?
I've done some research about the company, and I think it's doing the best work in app development. I want to be part of that, and I think I have a lot to offer.
OK. So, what will you bring to the company?
I think one of my main strengths is that I have a problem-solving mind, and I bring in a lot of creativity in solving problems. And I'm a fast learner. I've learnt most of what I know just by doing. And, as I said, I like working in a team.
Tell me about a time you had a problem with a co-worker. How did you handle that?
Can I use an example from university?
Sure.
At the end of my last year, we were doing a team project that was basically my thesis. There were 4 of us, developing a prototype scheduling app, and the other 3 people kind of let me do all the work. That made me angry.
And how did you deal with that?
I don't think I dealt with it very well. I didn't confront them. I just did the work, and they took part of the credit.
How do you think those 3 classmates would describe you?
Oh, good question.
So?
You know, in the end, I think they respected me. I think they would say I'm professional and responsible, that I get the job done and do it well. They would definitely call me independent. That can be a good thing, I think.
Is that all they would say?
Are you asking what criticisms they might have?
You could put it that way.
I suppose they would say I'm not very flexible. In that situation, I had a clear idea of how the work should go. I wanted everyone to follow that.
And is it true?
Is it true that I'm not very flexible?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I think I've grown up a lot since then. I think people would say that I've become more open to others' ideas.
OK. I have more questions, but let's turn things around for a bit. What questions do you have for me?
About the job?
About the position, the company, anything.
Well, first of all, I'd like to ask you a little bit more about what position you think I could